Hey guys, Tinker Taylor here today, bringing you another Pokemon build series. That is so not it. We are doing the A to Z challenge. I nearly said series again, but it's not a series, it's a challenge. You know what? I'm gonna get tripped up when we return back to the Pokemon build series, and I'm pretty sure I said that a couple of days ago. But yeah, we are on day one of the A to Z challenge, and it's kind of super fun and exciting. Um, it's a very big challenge, don't get me wrong. It's very, very big. There's a lot of work for me to do. And yeah, I don't know, it's a fun little challenge. I keep saying the same thing over and over again, but I really do think it is a fun challenge. I thoroughly enjoy it. I think it's something that I need to do more often. I say more often like I can force the year to happen more, like February to happen more often than it does. But I don't know, it's just a really, really fun challenge to get involved in. It really does get me out of my little creative rut that sometimes I find myself in. But I really do enjoy this challenge. I think it's so fun. I think it's, I don't know, just something that really helps me get out of my creativity zone. Yep, creativity zone. It helps me, sorry, get out of my creative rut. It helps me get creative, is what I was trying to say. Um, and this year I decided to use CC. I think this is the first year I've ever used CC for this challenge. But that's because for the Pokemon Build series, I was determined not to use CC, but I still wanted to use CC at some point. So I decided, you know what, the A to Z challenge would be a perfect sort of middle ground. It's a perfect space for me to be able to use the UCC, but also, yeah, like gives me time to not use it outside the challenge. So hopefully this kind of satiates my desire for playing with CC. You might also notice there will be some random cuts and jumps around. I did stream this over on Twitch, so yeah, there might be a few cuts and jumps around in some of these builds. Some of them you might actually not even see the full video. I know for build 3 I'm going to have to cut stuff out because it is so long already. But to be fair, I thought this build was going to be like like an hour and a half, if not more long. But I've managed to get it down to 29 minutes. So, you know, we'll find out. Actually, I'll probably find out by the end of today because today I'm going to start editing that video. Um, and I've still got to finish the build a little bit. I'm not going to lie with you guys. The interior is not completely done. But yeah, I'll edit what I have. And if it's really short, which I highly doubt, if it's really short, I'll add all of the um internal furnishings and whatnot, but if it's not, I'm just gonna have to cut that stuff out because it is just such a long video. Um it's I hate cutting out stuff from videos. I really do. I hate not being able to show what I've done. Um but I also don't like doing multi-part series, and I can't this time with the A to Z challenge. It's one build a day, so I have to do it. And I don't really want to keep you guys around for, well, forever. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. But yeah, very, very excited. Today I'm going to be working on a lot of like editing a lot of stuff, and then tomorrow I'm going to be doing a lot of last minute touches to some videos. Sorry, to some builds. Because they're almost done. I just have like one little room here to finish, or one little thing over there to finish. There's a few of them that I don't know why they're on a list of things to finish because I'm almost positive they're done. So it's just a thing of going in and checking on them to make sure they're actually done. But yeah, it's kind of very exciting to be able to get in and yeah, basically finish these things. I don't know about you guys, but for me, it is super exciting. It's you know, when things are in progress and you can see like some of these things are done and some of them are not, it can get very stressful because you don't know actually where you're sitting. But once you actually start getting in and sorting through it and whatnot, you kind of see like, oh, I'm actually getting places with this. This is very exciting. So yeah, I am very happy for this challenge. I worked on this in October, actually. Yeah, this build I was doing on the 24th of October. That's like a very long time ago. It's definitely something that I don't know. It's something that was so long ago. Like it's been playing, not playing on my mind, but it's been on my mind and something that I wanted to um just get in and do the video for. But again, like I've been saying in recent videos, I don't really want to record weeks and months ahead because then I miss out on, you know, like the things that are relevant to The Sims now. Like I found out this morning that the Sims 1 and 2 have been re-released and re-released with most of the DLC, which is actually kind of cool and exciting. I haven't had like a full look at it yet, but you know, for someone who's never played this game, the opportunity to be able to play them, like I've never played Sims 1 or 2. I have played Sims 3 like maybe 2 times. It, I don't know, after the first game I ever played was Sims 4, so to go back to the older graphics, I do find it a bit difficult. But it's definitely something that I'm not against looking into and having a play around it and having fun with. I unfortunately didn't grow up with computer games and things like that, so a lot of people, you know, this is their childhood for them. But for me, I didn't have a computer growing up, or computer games, but you know, it was really really good. I think it's really good that they're releasing or re-releasing these games so that people can play them again. I know a lot of people are very into like nostalgia and um, you know, reliving their childhood a little bit, but also not being stuck in their childhood, which I totally get. You know, if you want to do these things, if you want to play the games that you used to play when you were a kid, and it just helps you feel a little bit better, absolutely go for it. Absolutely go for it. I don't understand why people get so judgy for others wanting to, you know, relive their childhood again and just have fun and all that sort of stuff. So, yeah, definitely check that out if you guys have played those games as kids or if you never did and you want to play them kind of like I do. I kind of want to give it a go and I don't know, I think it'd be fun. I think it'd also kind of be funny because I would definitely be struggling. You know, someone who doesn't even play the game to begin with, to go back and play Sims 1, Sims 2, or even Sims 3, I think it'd be hilarious. Because I have no idea what I'm doing to begin with, and then to throw me into a completely different game where I'm like, well, Sims 4 is kind of like this, and this is what I've seen, and it's probably going to be completely different, which I think is just a little bit of a chef's kiss. I think, you know, to kind of be lost and not know what I'm doing, it's usual for me. I never know what I'm doing. I'm always lost. But yeah, I that's the main reason why I don't want to kind of record in advance. But my other issue is that I don't want to record the day of. I kind of want to feel a little bit ahead. So I think I'm gonna go a maximum of a week ahead, but a minimum of a day ahead. Kind of, you know, if something happens, that's fine. I'm a day ahead, and now I can just record a day off. Or if I'm a week ahead, now I'm only 6 days ahead. You know, I kind of want to keep it a little bit ahead, but that means getting ahead, which I don't know, that's exactly my thing. Getting ahead. It's usually doing things very last minute. It's very much my style. It shouldn't be. It really shouldn't be, but you know, we all have our own styles of doing things, and apparently mine's last minute stress recording or stress building. I don't think you'd be able to tell that I'm stressed based on my voice. I don't know. I find a little bit of stress actually motivates me and helps me. And I've talked about this before, like a little bit of stress is good for me, but if it starts to pile up and I focus on it, then I can get overwhelmed and kind of work myself up into a just like being so overwhelmed for no reason. Um, but there are some decisions that I'll make to kind of reduce that stress, like the initial uh bookcases that I picked in this build. I was like, they look fantastic, absolutely amazing, but I would have to clutter them, and that's just something I don't want to have to do. So I go and pick something else so that I don't have to clutter. And it's really a time saving thing, to be honest with you guys. Like, don't get me wrong, I want to be able to clutter, and there are a few builds in this series that I already know are going to take me a bajillion years to clutter, but it's worth it for those builds. But this one I was like, it's more about the arcade. Who's gonna really care about the office? Like that this is about having fun with the arcade and, you know, let me just do whatever I want in this little room and we can kind of just exist with it and it's fine. I mean, I do take forever and a day to pick anything. It's I don't know why it just takes me forever to pick anything, but it does. But eventually we pick some things that I'm pretty happy with and, you know, we move on from the office, but I do spend a little bit more time in here than I probably should have. I don't know, I just wanted it to feel like a little break room, a nice little office space, and, you know, in the end, I think I did that. I think in the end it works. So, yeah, I don't know. Definitely let me know your thoughts down below on the build. Even if you haven't gotten towards the end and you've already got feelings, definitely feel free to share them. Because I do love getting feedback on builds, and sometimes it gives me some really, really fun inspiration. And I love that because some people will be like, hey, have you tried this thing before? And I'm like, no, I've never tried that before. You know, someone in here asked if I could do I can't even think of it. They was saying something along the lines of like a magical forest. Not quite the words they used, but I already have an idea for when I'm going to do that build. Like I'm going to do it because it was such a cool idea, and you know, probably not great that I can't remember it, but I already know which Pokemon I'm going to assign it to, because it is a fantastic idea, and I am going to go searching for what exactly what it was because it was such a good idea, and I just want to make sure that yeah, I actually get this done. Okay, there are a few moments that a magical forest in Glimmerbrook. See, I knew it was a magical forest. Um, but yeah, it's something I'm definitely going to give a go and give a try because you know someone said, "Hey, what have you tried this before?" And no, I haven't. So you know, I love trying out new things and just having fun with it. So yeah, if you've got any feedback on the build, definitely let me know. So the builds for this series, I'm about halfway through beginning them, not finishing them, but beginning them. I'm probably a quarter of the way finishing. I think after tomorrow I'll be halfway. I don't know. It's like there's a bunch of things that just need small touch-ups and whatever. So yeah, if you do have any ideas for this particular challenge, I can definitely take them on for next year. But yeah, this year we've already got all the ideas down pat, and I had some help from some of my roommates getting ideas for this challenge for this year because I do want to try and do some things differently. There are some things that I feel like I've done before and I don't really want to do again, but there are other things that I've done before and I want to do better. So, you know, there's yeah, some ideas I definitely want to try and want to try and improve on. And because I'm using CC, some of the builds that I feel like I've already done that weren't that great, I want to retry with CC. And some of the build ideas that I have had in the past, but don't like I builds I'm like I just don't think I could do it on my own with just the game. Um, so yeah, definitely trying to do more ideas with CC. I think that would be fantastic. Um, but yeah, I don't know if you do have any ideas of what you want to do because I'm thinking next year I might have a theme um of the type of build I want to do. I was thinking maybe something based around TV shows or other games or something like that. I think that could be super fun. Um, or real life builds, which I think would be incredibly hard. I don't know how easy it would be to do other builds. Like, you know, I could do, you know, I could do Big Ben, but how hard would that be? That would be so hard to do. And especially because we are lot restricted, like size restricted on the lots. I just don't know if I could do a build as big as Big Ben. Um, although that would be absolutely phenomenal to be able to do something like that. So, you know, if they came out with a huge lot, I would definitely attempt it, but also like that would take me the entire month to do that one build. So, you know, I don't want to do massive builds all the time. I definitely feel myself being very overwhelmed with a lot of the big builds I do. I mean, this build here I think is like a 30 by 20 and it's already a 29-minute video. Like that tells you how much time and effort and energy and, you know, just how much went into this build. And I've done another build on this lot already. So the the Pikachu build I did on this same lot and it took me way less time. But this build, yeah, just forever. I don't know. I don't want to overcommit myself to massive builds because then I get overwhelmed and I fall behind and things are late and I just don't want to do that anymore. So yeah, I'm definitely looking at a lot more smaller builds. But maybe when the Pokemon build series challenge done, I'll go back to doing big builds. Knowing me, I will. Knowing me, I absolutely will be going back to big builds. And if I can, I'll be doing more big builds during the Pokemon build series. I don't want to now, but I know future me is going to be like, come on, you haven't done one in a while. You know you want to. If I can get ahead and I can justify it, then I will, but I don't think I will. I just don't think I can justify massive builds anymore. And I know a lot of people who play the game, massive builds are just a hassle, like just such a hassle to do, because they take forever to do anything. Like it takes your sim 6 in-game days just to walk from one end of the house to the other. So yeah, I don't really want to stress people out with that sort of stuff either. Because I am trying to keep more and more people in mind when it comes to the gameplay. You know, I want to try and keep game players in mind and people who do like machinimas and stuff. You probably don't want these massively big. I mean, maybe in machinimas you do, but you know, other people maybe not wanting to have these massive builds. So yeah, again, I'm trying to balance out what I want to do and having fun with it, and then you know the people who play with it. For a while, I was building a lot for other people and what I thought they wanted, and then I got really burnt out, so I decided to start building for myself. And then as soon as I started building for myself, I was like, this is fantastic and great, but I also recognized that people aren't necessarily going to be playing with these builds or happy with these builds. Maybe they want something different. So I'm gonna try and blend the two. I'm definitely still building for myself. It's something that I think is, you know, just super helpful. I get like it really does help with not having burnout, but other times I'm like, don't want to build for I just want to build for me. Um, but yeah, other times I want to build for other people and have it be usable and playable. Obviously, this series is not really for that. This is the for me section, and it makes it a lot easier to build the Pokemon build series, I guess, because again, it's just something that I can do for me. Yeah. And then when I get back to it, I can build for other people and it's just a whole lot easier. So yeah, I don't know. I'm really trying to find balance in my builds. And you know, I have words for the year that I kind of not live by, but I try and exist by those words. I try and take those words and apply it to my everyday life. And I'm guessing balanced is probably going to be this year's word. I could not tell you what the last 2 years' words were because I know I've had it for 2 years. It's probably I probably got it somewhere written down. Let me see if I can even find them. Oh, okay. Last year's word was also balanced. That's interesting. I don't think I wrote down goals for the previous years either. No, I didn't. Oh, not goals, sorry. Words. I guess balanced is still something I'm trying to find, which is kind of interesting. Um, but I don't feel like balanced is exactly the word, but it's definitely something that I'm achieving and striving for. I think I think it's balanced in a different way because I think last year it was, you know, trying to balance uni and life and all these things that were kind of not piling up on top of me, but I felt like I was being pulled in a million different directions. And I think this year it's more like, I don't know, I just want to feel like I can have time to me and do whatever I want and rest and relax and also work really hard. I think it's finding the balance between hard working and resting and relaxing, because I struggle with thinking that resting and relaxing is laziness. Um, and I think I'm trying to find the balance within that in my mind. So, still same word, but different sort of expectations of it, different views of it, I guess. I'm not too sure. It's I don't know. I'm not really focusing on targeted goals this year. I think I set targets for myself, and sometimes I set them too high and I don't achieve them, and I feel really like, well, I wasted the whole year because I didn't achieve this goal. But no, I don't need to. I'm every day that I work at something, I'm working towards a goal. And I think by stressing myself out with all these, like, I've got to achieve this, I've got to do that, like, I'm just overwhelming myself, and I don't need to do that. So I think every day I'm just going to try and achieve what I need to that day. And I saw a quote quite recently, maybe in the last 2 weeks, that was said, reaching if you only have 40% to give and you give 40%, you've given 100% that day. You've given 100% of what you're capable of. And I think that's something I need to rely and focus on. I think that's something I definitely need to understand exists and be okay with that, because sometimes I'm just too harsh on myself. I think I try and have all these grand goals and these ideas and whatever, and I just think I need to take a step back and be like, you know what? Let's just take this one step at a time. The A to Z challenge. I am stressed about it because I've got to get 26 builds done for a 26-day period. But today is A, so let's focus on A. And then when I'm done this, I can focus on B, which is what I'm going to be doing next. So I'm going to be working on all of the stuff for the B build. I mean, I've finished it, the build's done. Um, the video's edited. I just got to work on like some of the and stuff like that, and I'm just going to progress softly and calmly through everything. And then tomorrow I'm going to work on C. I'm probably going to work on C, D, and E, probably today and tomorrow. Kind of, because again, like I was saying, a lot of these builds are almost done. I just need to like do last minute touch ups and things like that. So I don't know, it'll be good to get them done, sort through them, and say goodbye to them. Not goodbye to them, but like upload them and share them with you guys, because I don't want to be stressed about it. I just want to be excited and happy, and I am. I really am leaning into the positive feelings that I feel instead of the negative ones, because sometimes I can be a little bit of a Debbie Downer. Apologies if your name is Debbie, but yeah, sometimes I can be a little bit miserable on myself, and you know that's not the year for it. It's not the year for it. We've had miserable years, but this year it's going to be a good one, and we're going to enjoy it, and we're going to be happy. That's not, of course, to say that I'm not going to gaslight myself into saying everything's perfect and fine. If bad things happen, I'm more than willing to accept that and acknowledge that and whatever. But I don't want to focus on the negatives. We've just had too many bad years that I think we finally hit a time where it can be a good one. So if you're manifesting positivity or whatever it is that people do, um, I'm here to support that. I want to see more positivity in the world. I want to see more people going, you know what, there is bad. Absolutely there is bad, but how do we make more good? How do we make the good outweigh the bad? Um, and I know it's tough for a lot of people, and I know it's maybe easy for me to say in the circumstances that I'm in. Um, I'm definitely acknowledging that some people are gonna find it really difficult to see the positives in anything. Totally understand and respect that. And if you're finding it hard to see the positive, that's okay. Take it one day at a time, and eventually we'll get to a day where you can be and see all the positives. So, you know, it, I try to be positive, but also realistic. I know that it's not going to be easy for everyone. I know there are some people who just don't feel safe, don't feel happy, aren't feeling positive about the way that their world is going. And again, absolutely respect and understand that. Um, and just know, yeah, my thoughts are definitely with you. I know thoughts don't do much. Um, I, but you know, I don't know how to help everyone, and I feel like if I try and help everyone, I am going to really just get stuck in this mentality of helping everyone and then not helping myself. And so, yeah, honestly, the best thing I can send to people is thoughts and prayers. And, you know, if people need help, I'm more than happy to help them in whatever way they need help with. Um, you know, don't want people to feel, I don't know, I don't want people to feel that I'm just being like, oh, yeah, everything's great and fantastic, because I know it's not. I know there's negativity in the world. But I, I do try and keep a positive face for everyone else so that when they're not feeling greatest that they can go, look, you know what, I can see a happy face over there. Let's be happy. Let's stay happy. Let's stay focused on what we can control, what we can deal with. And you know, I don't want it to feel again like toxic positivity, but I do want people to feel like they have a safe space where they can come and just relax and be positive. And you know, this is a comfortable, safe space over here, and then everybody else, like when people go and exist in the real world, I say the real world like I'm not in the real world, but when they go and exist in their world, you know, they've had a breath of fresh air here. And that's kind of what I hope that I can bring people. I know that some people might listen to this and be like, you're an idiot. And I know that sometimes when I hear people talking about positivity and good mental health and seeing the good in everything, I know sometimes it can make me feel worse. So I completely understand if people don't agree with what I'm saying or anything like that. But again, I want people to know that it's a safe space here if you want to. I don't know, if you need a space where you just want to forget about your world and you just want to come and exist in The Sims and whatever, absolutely feel free to do that. This is 100% a safe space to do that. Um, and yeah, I don't know. I sometimes go on these weird random rambles and then I kind of get a bit not scared, but like unsure because I feel like I'm just rambling, but I'm really trying to let people know that I care about them. So yeah, but at the end of this, I really hope you guys understand. Like I want you to feel safe here. I want you to feel like you're welcomed and that, you know, if you're having problems and you're struggling, you can always just come here and just let it out and like chill and you know, it's not an easy world we live in. And it's okay that it's not easy. Well, it's not okay that it's not easy, but it's okay for you to feel it's not easy. Um, and you know you're supported and loved here. That's basically what I'm trying to say at the end of this really long ramble. And I'm so sorry that it just kind of went off into this weird little ramble world. But yeah, at the end of the day, I want people to know I think about them, and I hope that everybody's doing well. I know that people aren't necessarily well. Look, I could continue and go around in circles on this all day, but the long and the short of it is, I really do hope everyone is okay and that life can get better for everyone because I think everyone deserves to be happy. But anyway, we are getting pretty close to the end of this build. Definitely let me know your thoughts on the build down below. And yeah, I don't know. I had a lot of fun with the build. I didn't ramble as much during the build, I promise. Like when I was actually building it. But yeah, if you've enjoyed the build and or the rambles, make sure to subscribe. I'm coming out with a video every single day this year, except for the last 2 days of this month. I am taking them off, not building, not doing any videos, not doing nothing. To be honest, I probably will. I probably will do a lot of things, but I won't be putting out videos. But anyway, I will see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.